You walk forward knowing that you were created with intention, that you are capable of achieving more than you can currently see, and that the universe is preparing beautiful things that will align perfectly with your growth. You are meant to rise, meant to shine, meant to impact the world simply by being yourself. Continue your journey with hope in your heart and confidence in your spirit, because the best chapters of your life are not behind you, they are waiting ahead, and I am with you in every step you take. Stop making excuses and start making moves is the moment your life begins to change. You do not need permission, you do not need approval, and you do not need perfect conditions. You only need the courage to start and the strength to continue even when it gets hard, because it will get hard, and that is exactly why most people will never reach their potential, but you will, because you are no longer waiting, you are awakening. And when a person awakens to their power, nothing can stop them. Not fear, not failure, not even their own past. What if you finally realized that the greatest potential you will ever need is already inside you, unlimited, unstoppable, and expanding like the number pi, that never ends and never repeats, and just like pi, your possibilities are infinite when you choose to believe in yourself and take action even when you feel uncertain or afraid. Because every step you take forward proves that you are stronger than your doubt and more capable than your fear wants you to think, and success isn't reserved for people who know everything at the beginning. It belongs to those who are willing to grow, learn, adapt, and keep going no matter how many times they have to start again, because progress is progress whether it's big or small, and every moment you decide not to give up is a decimal in your infinite expansion, a new piece of strength added to your unstoppable journey. And there will be days when the challenge feels bigger than the goal, when you wonder if your dream is too far or too difficult. But those are the moments when PI power is meant to activate, the fire inside you that refuses to quit, the vision inside you that won't let you settle, the purpose inside you that keeps calling you forward even when no one else can hear it. And life doesn't reward perfection, it rewards persistence, it rewards the person who dares to rise again. It rewards the one who keeps believing in a future they can't yet see. Because growth happens in silence before success shows up in public, and your transformation begins the moment you say, I am not done, even when others think you are, because your story isn't over, your potential isn't capped, and your greatest achievements haven't even happened yet, and every skill you build, every lesson you learn, every challenge you overcome is shaping you into the version of yourself who will look back and say, that was the moment I decided to become unstoppable. So don't wait for motivation, create it. Don't wait for the perfect time, make it. Don't wait for permission, give it to yourself, because you are not here to live a small life or fit into expectations that limit you. You are here to expand like infinity, to break barriers, to rise higher, and to show the world what happens when a powerful person finally believes in their own abilities. And today is your reminder that you are more than you think, capable of more than you realize, and destined for more than you can imagine right now. But you have to move, you have to start, you have to take the step that scares you, because courage is a habit, one action at a time, and if you stay consistent, if you stay hungry, if you stay focused, you will shock everyone, including yourself, with how far you can go. So breathe in your strength, stand up with purpose, and tell the world. There is a moment in every champion's life when they realize that winning isn't something that happens only on the big stage, under bright lights, or in front of a crowd cheering. Winning starts in the quiet hours when no one is watching, when you choose to show up anyway, when you decide that excuses are no longer an option and progress, even the smallest step, is the only direction you're willing to take, because the truth is, consistency is your superpower, and your growth doesn't have to be loud or perfect or fast, it just has to be constant, expanding like the digits of pi, endless, limitless, unstoppable, and pi power means knowing that you are built for more than comfort, made for more than average, designed for more than doubting yourself, because every time you push past your limits, every time you refuse to stay down after a setback, you activate the infinite potential inside you that no one else can measure, and yes, there will be days when motivation is low, when fear gets loud, when progress feels invisible, but those are the exact moments when greatness is being formed deep within you, when your discipline becomes stronger than your feelings, and when your future success silently thanks the version of you that didn't quit. Because success is not luck, success is repetition, success is believing without proof, success is choosing to rise again and again until rising becomes natural, until your habits align with your goals and your actions align with your dreams, and pi power tells you that you never need to wait for the perfect time. Because progress doesn't depend on timing, it depends on you, on your willingness to move forward even an inch, to build momentum one choice at a time, and soon the world will call you lucky even though you built your momentum in silence, and people may doubt you at first, but once your results reveal the truth, those same people will ask how you did it, and you will smile knowing that while they were talking, you were working, while they were waiting. You were growing, while they were watching. You were becoming unstoppable, and no matter what challenge stands in front of you today, remember this: obstacles are not roadblocks, they are stepping stones, each one preparing you for a higher level that the older version of you wasn't ready to handle yet. And your journey doesn't need to be compared to anyone else's because your path is unique, your timeline is unique, your mission is unique. And as long as you keep expanding, like pi, your possibilities stay infinite, your skills keep leveling up, your confidence keeps getting stronger, and your future keeps getting brighter. So trust your grind, trust your evolution, trust that every effort matters, because someday soon you will stand exactly where you once prayed to be, and you will realize that success didn't happen overnight. It happened one committed day after another, one brave choice after another, one step forward after another, and the difference between those who live their dream and those who only wish for it is simple: one keeps going. So from this moment on, promise yourself that you will keep going, no matter how long it takes, no matter who doubts you, no matter what fear says. Because you are not here to take small steps forever, you are here to break barriers, to make progress that never stops, and to prove through action that you are infinite, you are evolving, and you are truly unstoppable. You are pi power. There comes a time when the world expects you to slow down, to settle, to accept that good enough is where your story ends. But champions are wired differently, because deep inside you, there is a voice that refuses to be silent, a fire that refuses to fade, a mission that refuses to shrink for anyone's comfort, and that is the voice of pi power, the fire of infinite expansion, reminding you that you were not born to live a life of limits, you were born to chase the impossible until it becomes your new normal. And yes, people might misunderstand your vision, they might laugh at your goals, They might say you're dreaming too big, but that's because their imagination ends where your courage begins, and breakthroughs never come from those who play it safe. Breakthroughs come from the brave ones who dare to take the first step when the outcome is uncertain, who dare to believe in progress long before results show up, who dare to think bigger even when their current situation looks small, because every legend once stood exactly where you are standing right now, between who they were and who they needed to become, and the only bridge between these two worlds is action, showing up when you'd rather stay comfortable, working on your craft when no applause is present, training your mind to stay strong when fear tries to steal your focus, and every time you push yourself a little further than yesterday, every time you choose discipline over distraction, every time you refuse to let excuses win, you break another invisible barrier that once held you back, and slowly, silently, powerfully, your identity begins to evolve. You stop seeing yourself as someone who tries and start seeing yourself as someone who achieves, and your confidence becomes unshakable not because life gets easier, but because you get stronger, wiser, sharper, and more relentless, and when your moment finally arrives, when doors open, when people notice, when success becomes visible, you will know that nothing was given, everything was earned, and the world will call it a breakthrough, but you will know it was simply the result of refusing to stop. So from today, decide that no fear, no doubt, no setback has the authority to delay your destiny, because your purpose is bigger than your problems, your potential is deeper than your struggles, and your future is waiting for you to claim it. And remember, you are not chasing perfection, you are chasing progress that never ends. Because like pi, your greatness has no final number, no end point, no finish line. You are infinite growth in human form, a walking reminder that limits exist only until you break them, and once you do, you never go back, you only rise. This is your time, your rise, your breakthrough. You are pi power. Every day you wake up, you are stepping onto a battlefield, not against other people, not against the world, but against the weaker version of yourself, the version that wants comfort, distraction, shortcuts, and excuses, the version that says, later, instead of, now, the version that fears failure more than it desires success, and this internal war is where greatness is either built or destroyed. Because your future is shaped in the small invisible choices you make when nobody is watching. The moment your alarm rings and a voice says, sleep a little more, the moment you feel tired and a voice says, skip the work today, the moment you face a challenge and a voice says, maybe you're not capable, that is the enemy, the silent thief of potential. Winning this war does not require perfection. It requires intention, the decision to move forward even if you can only move 1 inch today. The decision to try again even if yesterday was messy, the decision to believe in yourself even if doubt is screaming louder, and every time you win one tiny battle, choosing focus over distraction, choosing learning over scrolling, choosing effort over excuses, you get stronger. Your mind gets sharper, your dreams come closer, and that weak version of you gets smaller and weaker until one day it can no longer control you. Remember, champions are not born fearless. They simply refuse to obey their fears. They use discomfort as fuel, they turn discipline into their identity, and they practice consistency until success has no choice but to follow them. Your weakness will whisper that the journey is too hard, that other people have it easier, but pi power teaches you one truth. the size of your desire must always be bigger than the size of your doubt, because tough days are not signs to quit, they are signs that you are leveling up, they are the tuition you pay for greatness, and when you push through challenges that once broke you, you prove that you are becoming the upgraded version of yourself. So from today forward, whenever your weakness calls you back into comfort, take a breath, stand tall, and tell yourself, I am stronger than this moment, I am stronger than my excuses, I am stronger than who I was yesterday, because this war is not won in a single victory but through thousands of tiny battles. And as long as you keep fighting, as long as you keep choosing growth, as long as you keep taking steps forward, you will win, and not only will you win, you will transform into someone unstoppable, someone extraordinary, someone who proves to the world that a human being with PI power cannot be limited, cannot be broken, and cannot be stopped. A legend is not someone who starts perfectly, a legend is someone who refuses to stop, someone who keeps building when no one is clapping, someone who keeps rising even after being knocked down over and over again, because every great story has chapters of struggle, chapters of doubt, chapters where the world cannot see the greatness that is growing inside the character, and right now, you are in that chapter where life is testing your patience, your courage, and your belief, but tests exist only to reveal how powerful you truly are. Legends are not defined by their comfort zone, they are defined by the times they walked through pressure and still moved forward, the times they did not give up when it was easier to quit, the times they smiled at challenges because they knew challenges were shaping them into someone unstoppable. Your journey may feel slow, but slow progress is still progress. And PI power reminds you that even one small step forward contains infinite potential when taken consistently, like the digits of pi, that continue forever without repeating. Your growth may not look obvious every day, but it is expanding endlessly beneath the surface, preparing to break through in ways even you cannot imagine yet. Legends are built silently, in the early mornings, in the late nights, in the moments when motivation is gone but discipline takes its place. In the moments when they choose to learn while others choose to complain, in the moments when they rise strong even after failure whispers that they can't succeed. Success is not an event, it is a personality you build one decision at a time, and when your habits match your goals, your identity transforms into someone who deserves everything they once dreamed of. Remember this, the world may underestimate you now, but one day the same people who doubted you will tell others how they knew you would make it. Keep working for that moment, not to prove others wrong, but to prove to yourself that you were always meant for more. Legends are not born from applause, they are born from resilience, from commitment, from a belief that refuses to break. So claim your place among the great. Dare to think bigger than everyone around you. Dare to act even when you are scared. Dare to bet on yourself, because no legend ever became legendary by playing small. This is your rise, your purpose, your story, and it will be written not by luck or chance but by the unstoppable force of your PI power, a greatness that keeps expanding with no finish line, no end point, and no limit. You are the legend in the making. Focus is your superpower in a world that constantly tries to pull your attention into 1,000 directions, and the moment you decide to protect your focus, you instantly separate yourself from the majority who are controlled by distractions, notifications, and the constant noise of opinions. True success is not about doing more, it is about doing what matters consistently. About building hours of deep work when others are trapped in endless scrolling, about choosing intentional progress over mindless movement, because every minute you invest into your purpose compounds into something powerful over time, and while most people allow their future to be stolen by temporary pleasures, PI power reminds you that your life becomes extraordinary when your focus becomes extraordinary. Think about every legend you admire, athletes, creators, leaders, innovators. They did not rise because they were born different. They rose because they trained their mind to commit fully to the mission, eliminating anything that did not align with their goals, refusing to give their attention to things that did not build their dream. Focus requires sacrifice. You might lose comfort, lose laziness, lose approval from people who don't understand your vision, but what you gain is worth everything you give up: clarity, elevation, skills, discipline, results, and self-respect. Distractions offer instant dopamine but no future, while focus offers a future that will give you endless reasons to celebrate and feel proud. Every time you say no to a distraction, you are saying a louder yes to your purpose. Every time you choose to read, learn, train, create, instead of wasting time, you are sharpening your mind, building a stronger version of yourself, and becoming the person who deserves success. Remember, success is less about talent and more about concentration. The world is full of talented people who achieved nothing because they never learned to control their attention, while those who were average became extraordinary simply because they locked in on one mission and refused to break that focus. When you remove distractions, pressure becomes your friend, silence becomes your power, and progress becomes automatic. PI power teaches you that like pi, your potential is infinite. But you can only access it when your focus becomes powerful enough to unlock your greatness, so protect your time like treasure. Protect your goals like oxygen, and never allow temporary entertainment to steal a permanent dream, because when you master focus, you master your destiny, you rewrite your future, and you enter a level of growth where nothing and no one can stop you. Stay locked in, because the world will soon witness what a focused mind with PI power can achieve. There is a moment on every journey when you realize that the only limits that ever truly existed were the limits in your own mind, limits created by fear, by past experiences, by other people's opinions, and by the belief that you must stay small to make others comfortable. But PI power teaches you that your mind is not a cage. It is a universe expanding every time you challenge what you once thought was the edge of your capability, because when you decide to think bigger, dream bolder, and act with courage, you unlock a version of yourself that refuses to accept impossible as a final answer. The truth is, nothing has ever improved in history because someone played safe. Every breakthrough, every invention, every revolution was created by someone who believed there was more to life than the story the world handed them, someone who refused to limit their identity to their current conditions, someone who said, "I am not done yet," even when the environment around them suggested otherwise. Your limitless mindset begins when you choose to see challenges as training, failure as data, effort as progress, and growth as a lifestyle. And when you stop asking permission to be great, you start stepping into the power that was always inside you. People may call you unrealistic, but remember, the word unrealistic has always been used by those who gave up too early to describe those who refuse to quit. Your mind becomes limitless when you look at a dream and say, "I will find a way." When you look at a setback and say, "I will come back stronger." When you look at your progress and say, "This is only the beginning," because like pie, your potential has no ending, no final chapter, no point where growth must stop. You can always learn more, improve more, explore more, create more, become more. Every time you expand your beliefs, you expand your possibilities, and the more you believe in what is possible for you, the more the world begins to open doors that once seemed locked. So never shrink yourself to match someone else's comfort zone, never let a temporary circumstance decide your permanent destiny, and never forget that your mind was designed to imagine worlds that do not yet exist, because you were built to create them. Keep rising, keep evolving, keep thinking beyond limits. Because your next level is not somewhere outside you, it is already within you, waiting for permission to break free. And when you finally release that power, when you finally trust your ability to rise endlessly, the world will understand that a person with PI power is not limited by reality, they redefine it. Your future is not something that just happens to you, your future is something you build, decision by decision, day by day, with every moment of discipline, every moment of courage, and every moment you choose progress over comfort, because no one else is responsible for your destiny, no one else is obligated to create opportunities for you, and no one else has the right to decide what you can or cannot become. PI power reminds you that the most powerful words you can ever say are, "It's up to me." Because the moment you take full ownership of your life, you stop waiting for permission, you stop blaming circumstances, you stop making excuses, and you start creating momentum that cannot be stopped by anything outside of you. Your past is a chapter, not a prison, and your future is a blank page that is waiting for you to pick up the pen and start writing the most powerful story the world has ever witnessed. A story where struggle becomes fuel, failure becomes wisdom, and every setback becomes a setup for an even greater comeback. You may not control the challenges that show up, but you always control how you respond, and that response determines whether your future grows or shrinks. Every time you invest in yourself, learning a new skill, practicing your craft, working on your mindset, you are building a future version of you who will thank you for not giving up, and the longer you stay consistent, the more unstoppable you become. Remember, opportunities don't always knock. Sometimes you must build the door, sometimes you must create the chance, sometimes you must be the one to believe in your potential before anyone else